Please stand for the arrival of the President of Dominica. Okay, please remain standing while we listen to the national anthems of Dominica, United States of America, and Canada. Please be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome Your Excellency Silvani Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mr. Burton, the representative of the Prime Minister, Dr. Irvin McIntyre, Minister of Finance, Economic Development and Climate Resilience, Your Excellency Charles Savarin, former President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mrs. Savarin, honourable members of Cabinet, Your Worship, Kerry Breedy Prince, Mayor of Portsmouth, Permanent Secretaries, Dr. Ramin Ahmadi, Dean and Chief Academic Officer of ACSOM, Mr. Kerry James, President of ACSOM, Charlene Law, President of the Student Government Association, family members, staff of ACSOM, other invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen here and viewing online, and particularly our new and current students and our faculty. I'd like to welcome you to this very special occasion, the 6th White Coat Ceremony for ACSOM for the class of 2030. Congratulations. You made it through the first week of teaching. You should give yourself a round of applause. This ceremony is more than a milestone. It's a symbol of your entry as a trainee into the medical profession and the responsibilities that come with it. The occasion invites us to reflect on the significance of this moment for you and ask ourselves, what does the white coat symbolize to you as a future physician? Why do you wear it? Why is it white? The white coat ceremony is a tradition celebrated at almost every US medical school and in many other schools worldwide. It began in 1989 at the University of Chicago Pritzker School of Medicine to remind students of the importance of professionalism in both behavior and appearance. They were fed up of people turning up to class in beach shorts. By 1993, it had evolved, and Columbia University hosted the first such ceremony like the one you're in now. And the ceremony's purpose was to emphasize compassion, collaboration, and scientific excellence in patient care from the very first day of training. In this aim, they were supported by the Arnold P. Gold Foundation, named after Dr. Gold, a pediatric neurologist who championed empathy in medicine. And today's ceremony is supported by the Arnold P. Gold Foundation. Thanks to the foundation, each of our new students will wear a Humanism in Medicine pin on your white coat, a reminder of the core values that underpin the profession. But why a white coat? Why not blue, green, or pink? To answer that, you have to look back in history. In the 19th century, physicians traditionally wore dark, funereal frock coats, rather like clergymen. However, the rise of the fields of bacteriology and antiseptic practices in the late 19th century transformed the profession. Consequently, physicians adopted the white coats of laboratory scientists who'd been wearing them for many decades, symbolizing a new era of bioscientific medicine. By the early 20th century, the white coat had become an enduring symbol of scientific medical professionalism. But of course, medicine's not only about science. Sir William Osler, one of the founding figures of modern medicine, said, "Listen to your patient. They're telling you the diagnosis." Osler's insight underlines the essence of the profession. Patients are not merely collections of symptoms, lab results, DNA sequences, or scans. They're individuals with fears, hopes, and values. Some may confide in you that their greatest concern isn't their illness or their mortality, but how their family will be supported in the future. Your role as a physician is to listen, to understand, and to care, not just for their bodies and ailment, but for the entire human being. So the white coat represents the ideals of professionalism, trust, compassion, and integrity. Its true significance lies in how you actually wear it. It can be a place from which to produce a piece of candy or a small toy to comfort a frightened child. It can offer a grieving family member or one of your colleagues a shoulder to lean on, and serve as a tangible reminder of your commitment to ethical and compassionate care. However, the coat, you should also remember, can present challenges. For some, it can symbolize authority and even elitism. It can become a barrier between the physician and the patient. And if improperly maintained, it can spread infections, so don't forget to launder your coats regularly. The coat can cause anxiety and fear, leading to elevated blood pressure in some patients. 30% of the population suffer from white coat syndrome. However, when worn with humility and care, it becomes a bridge, a symbol of connection and trust. So as you put on your white coat today, remember that it represents more than just you. It also holds the contributions of everyone who has contributed and shaped and supported you, your family, friends, mentors, and teachers. It is also a reminder of the responsibilities you will carry and the trust your patients will place in you. So this ceremony marks the beginning of your journey, a journey rooted in professionalism, empathy, and a commitment to lifelong learning. So, to the class of 2030, celebrate this moment, seize the day, go forward with humility, pride, and dedication, and wear your ACSOM white coat as a beacon of hope and healing. Thank you for your attention. I would now like to welcome to the podium Mr. Kerry James, MBA, our president, who will give you his welcome and remarks.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Sylvia Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, Dr. Irving McIntyre, Representative of the Prime Minister of Commonwealth of Dominica and Minister for Finance and Economic Development and Climate Resilience, Your Excellency, Charles Savrin, former President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, honorable members of Cabinet, Your Worship, Carrie Breedy Prince, Mayor of Portsmouth, permanent secretaries, Dr. Rami Namadi, our Dean and Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Stanley White, Senior Associate Dean of ACSOM and Dean of Students, Charlene Law, our President of the Student Government Association, family members, staff of ACSOM, invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today we mark a meaningful milestone, beginning of your journey in medicine. The white coat you receive today is more than a symbol. It represents responsibility, service, and a future defined by knowledge, compassion, and purpose. You join American Canadian School of Medicine at a moment of extraordinary progress. Just a few years ago, American Canadian School of Medicine began with a humble first class of 9 students. Today, we have 94 students enrolled at our growing university. Each student has been selected for their ability, their character, and desire to become a physician. Over the course of the next year, our school will double again in size, driven by an ever stronger and more qualified applicant pool. So there will be new colleagues, more of them, just like you, talented, and in the right place. Growth like this matters, but only if it's done in the right way. For us, growth means more faculty. It means additional academic resources, expanded student services, and deeper clinical partnerships. It means investing ahead of need and not reacting after the fact. It means preserving small group learning, personalized instruction, and uncompromising academic standards, no matter how much we grow. ACSOM is more than a story of growth, however. It is really part of a new educational model for the region. We are nonprofit. We are a mission-driven institution. We are not owned by private equity, nor are we accountable to investors. We are governed by an independent board of trustees committed to academic quality, access, and long-term impact, not profit. This structure allows us to prioritize what truly matters: our students, your patients, the future of the profession. At its core, ACSOM was built on development. This year, I was struck by an inspiring story from the world of sports. I usually don't like using sports analogies, but I feel compelled to do so this year. Even as a longtime Ohio State fan, I have to make mention of the great work that's been going on over there at Indiana. This year, I was struck by an inspiring story, and it's about this year's Heisman Trophy winner, Fernando Mendoza. So he's a football player. He grew up in Miami. He's also a student. But like many young athletes, he dreamed of playing quarterback in his hometown. But out of high school, he was only a 2-star ranked recruit, whatever that means. I guess there's a 5-star ranking system, and if you're a 5-star, it means you're in the top handful of competitors in the country coming out of high school, and on down and on down. And some people say there's no such thing as a 2-star recruit. That's really a no-star recruit. And you know, he was a good athlete, but he had no chance there in his hometown. Out of high school, he was rated 2 stars. He asked to even walk on at University of Miami. He said, I don't need a scholarship. Just let me play. Let me earn a spot. They said no. He went and asked FIU. They said no. He asked Florida Atlantic. Said no. This story's been picked up broadly in the press and far beyond the sports pages because it really is such an amazing story. Each time the answer was no, and he was simply deemed not good enough, not even good enough to give a chance to, not even for free with no scholarship. The answer was no. He had one opportunity. He had to go out to California to get it, and he developed there. Now, I don't know how he was in high school as a quarterback. Maybe he was really good and the ranking systems were all wrong. Maybe he wasn't good enough then. I don't know. But what we do know is that he started developing really there at the University of California, and actually became really good when he was there. So good that other schools started knocking on his door saying, hey, can you transfer here? We have the right opportunity for you. And so he leaves and goes over to Indiana. And there, everything aligned. The right system, the right environment, the right effort, the right moment, the right person. It was him, right? And so what happens? The result, he goes on to become the best quarterback in the United States. He wins the Heisman Trophy, the best player in the nation as recognized. And he goes on to incredibly play a national championship in his hometown of Miami just last week. And he wins. And this is more than a football story. It's really a parable of development. Like him, none of you are here because this was the easiest or most familiar path. You did not attend your hometown medical school. You chose a school overseas, a school that believes in your potential, not just your past metrics. You are more than an MCAT. You are more than a GPA that was earned years ago. People grow, people mature, people rise when given the right opportunity. This is your opportunity. You are different students than you were 5 years ago. You're going to be a different learner 4 years from now when you enter residency. You will be a different physician at the end of residency than at the start of residency. You will be a different physician 10 years into practice, 20 years into practice than your first day of practice. By that point, you'll have had half a lifetime of experience, and yet you will still have half a lifetime of lifelong learning to go. It never ends, it never stops. Your development will be at the very core of who you are as a physician. This is what medicine demands, and it's what ACSOM is designed to support. It's also important to understand this. Fully 25% of the physicians practicing in the United States trained overseas. These physicians, international medical graduates, are an essential part of the American healthcare system, and the same is true in Canada. This is not an exception. This is a well-worn path. Physicians trained in our region practice in every specialty, in every state, in every province, in communities, urban and rural alike. The U.S. healthcare system simply would not function without them. You should be proud of the journey you're taking and confident where it leads. From the beginning, ACSOM was designed to be different. Our founder, Dr. Arvind Bhagapur, once sat in these very seats as a medical student here in Dominica, asking how medical education could be better, what could change, what should be preserved. These questions became the foundation of this institution. You'll meet everybody's spoken to Dr. Bhagapur numerous times by phone and by video, but he will be here actually in February. He's been seeing patients still practicing physician. He's seeing patients all January as an interventional radiologist, both with planned procedures during the day and even still continues to do overnight emergency procedures as well. So just a hardworking physician who loves the practice as much as he loves his school. Our founding dean, Dr. Rami Ahmadi, trained in internal medicine at Yale, served as residency program director at Yale Griffin, and founded multiple residency programs across the United States, specializing within primary care. He also established the first Canadian accredited residency program outside of Canada. This is the level of leadership that defines us. And ultimately, what defines the success of the university will be the success of our graduates. It's not hyperbole or trite to say that your success will be our success. It is, as an institution, how we will be judged. When I say that ACSOM was founded by physicians for physicians, it's not a slogan, it's a promise. Our teaching model reflects the very best of US and Canadian medical education. You will not sit through endless lectures. Our physician faculty, each a practicing clinician, will guide you through case-based, clinically integrated small group learning, supported by advanced tools and clear objectives. This is not mass production. This is rigorous, personalized, modern medical education. I should mention that all this, of course, is possible because of our private benefactors and also the transformative partnership with the government of Dominica. American Canadian School of Medicine, we're here, our home is in this $100 million purpose-built campus that has been provided to us by the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica. We very simply would not be here without that partnership from the government. So thank you. Today is your white coat ceremony, and it is a celebration of you, our new students, but it's also an opportunity for me to reflect on my responsibility and reattest to my responsibility to ensure that you are fully supported during your time here in ACSOM and beyond. Nothing should stand between you and your MD except for your hard work and our responsibility to support you in it. Your presence here today reflects your talents and your perseverance, but also the sacrifices of your families, your parents, your grandparents, and those who believed in you long before this moment. Their legacy walks with you into this room, and now you begin to build your own legacy. The knowledge and the compassion that you develop here will live on in the lives you touch and the patients that you will one day serve. Wear your white coat with pride, wear it with purpose, and never forget the privilege and the responsibility that it represents. Welcome to American Canadian School of Medicine and welcome to your new profession. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. James. As a British citizen who only knows real football and cricket, I have no idea what the Heisman Trophy is, but nevertheless, the parable was well made. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to move on to the highlight, I suspect, almost, of the ceremony, which is our Dean and Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Amadi, who will provide his welcome remarks. Thank you, Dr. Amadi.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Your Excellency, Sylvia Barton, President of Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mr. Barton, the Honorable Dr. Irvin McIntyre, representing Honorable Roosevelt Skirt, Prime Minister of Commonwealth of Dominica, Your Excellency Charles Savin, former President of Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mr. Savin, Your Worship Carrie Brady Prince, Mayor of Portsmouth, Permanent Secretaries, Dr. White, Senior Associate Dean of ACSOM, President Carrie James, President of ACSOM, Charlene Law, President of Student Government Association, family members, students, invitees. I have a complicated task today. And as you know, Dr. Bagherpur couldn't be with us today to give the usual presentation that he has for white coat ceremony. So I am filling in for him doing that presentation. I would like to first do that presentation and then move on to introduce to you the new faculty that has arrived on the island since the last white coat ceremony, and move on with introducing and I guess congratulating the faculty promotions of this year, and then come to our students, who's going to be the focus of really today's attention and the white coat celebration. So I'll start with this presentation. I know that Dr. Bagherpur told you about COVID and some, very heavy stuff. My presentation is not very heavy. So I had to give a follow-up on the last report that I had here for Your Excellency. Last white coat ceremony, I mentioned that I have asked my faculty to be productive, more productive, and instead they were reproductive. So I am now trying to follow up on that report to tell you really how that went. I decided that this would be really like a guide for those who are interested of how you make the first ACSOM baby. But I would like to just ask the faculty and students, really, try not to do this at home, but I am going to review the critical steps to making an ACSOM baby. I want to remind you of your optional step. And also, I just want you to make sure that you're trusting the process. Those are the learning objectives. All of our talks with our students have learning objectives in this format. So, to do this first, you have to discover Dominica. because that's the nature island, and it's the nature of love or love of nature. We are not sure which one, but it works. Trust the process. It is the first critical step. You have to come to Dominic. You have to visit a waterfall. This is a critical step. There is something in this waterfall. I am convinced that it is a critical step, and it promotes the process of making the ACSOM baby. You have an optional step. That was 2 faculty members, Michael and Sophia, who came to the island to Dominica together more than 2 years ago. A critical step is hanging out at the ACSOM, really. Otherwise, it would not count as an ACSOM baby. You have to hang out with others and pretend that you are not making an ACSOM baby. That's really important. While you know very well that you are. As the first sign of an ACSOM baby appears, you will realize that you have to change the way you take pictures so your dean will not know what's going on. This means side profile, side profile. But when you go on vacation and you think your dean is not going to see those pictures because you think he's old and he's not going to look in the Instagram, you will start demonstrating what you have been doing. It gets to a point where you feel like you have to point it out to the people that are watching the picture. That I call an optional step. It becomes, I guess, again, at some point, something that you will not hide from your dean, and this is that step. A very critical step is starting to make clothing for and buying clothing for the baby. That's really very important. That's your pre-work, students. Yes, and then at some point, as you are pointing to the baby, you feel guilty and you realize what you have done. And you have that guilty face, and she will never forgive you for it. This is now a couple of weeks before the ACSOM baby is born. We are all anxious. It happens to be also the birthday and 30th birthday of the mom. And this is what happens to you when you do this. Your birthday is not going to be as exciting as usually it is. So warning for those of you who do like to still enjoy your life the way it is right now. Yeah, very close. Now, I want to say a few words about baby showers. So there is a significant cultural difference between how we do it in North America and how Russians do it. The Russians believe that doing the baby shower before the baby is born is a bad omen. You shouldn't do it. You should wait until after the baby is born. In the North America, we do it because we think that everybody will bring gifts and the parents will have more baby things. It's just a pragmatic thing. We just don't think of the omen. So when we asked the faculty, they said, oh, we want to be pragmatic. We really don't think of us as Russians, we're North American. And because they did not have a family to do the baby shower, we asked their Uber driver, who is a very nice gentleman, to bring his family over and do that for them. Now, this is a complicated thing. I do not guarantee that you will have an Uber driver that would do that for you. In fact, on the island of Dominica, we do not have Uber, so this is just a warning. This could become just an optional step for you. As always, at ACSOM, we use our simulation center. And in this case, the simulation center is to provide directions, how to hold the baby with the back of the neck and so forth, and how to change the diapers. So that's a big part of the learning process, and it is not an optional step. Ladies and gentlemen, your afternoon simulation sessions are required. So at some point at that final fateful day, you end up in the hospital, and you're happy only until the moments before you're very unhappy, and then you give birth to the first ACSOM baby. 3.15 pounds. Victoria, and I believe what I have done so far as teaching, her favorite fashion line is Prada. She keeps both parents up until very late at night. And that is on the hospital discharge. She is growing and has gained weight. It's at 4 point something now. She has had her first faculty development session. And that is how you make your first ACSOM baby. All right. That was my presentation. Okay, now, introduction of the new faculty. I am going to ask the new faculty, who are, I'm sure, here, and I will start with one that got here shortly after the last coat ceremony and white coat ceremony, and we did not make a formal introduction. In fact, we have not been doing this. I decided for everyone to meet the new faces and the specialties that are coming to the country. We should do this formally in the white coat ceremony. So here's the first one. Dr. Irakli Tabatadze, could you stand up? Dr. Irakli is a physician with strong background in internal medicine and radiology, the 2020 graduate of Tbilisi State Medical University. He completed his radiology residency in 2024, and he currently works in the anatomy lab, and his interest includes patient-centered medical care, clinical reasoning, and diagnostic imaging integration. Thank you. You can sit down. All right, this is going to be challenging. Dr. Mujisola Onokarohangrian. With your permission, I'm going to go with Dr. Moji. Dr. Moji is a family medicine physician with extensive experience in family medicine practice. She holds an MBBS from Afe Babalola University, Nigeria, and trained as a family medicine resident under the West African College of Physicians. Her expertise spans patient care, medical education, and community health, and focus on holistic patient-centered approaches and clinical mentorship. She's one of the new ACSOM introductions to of the course of Introduction to Clinical Medicine leaders. Thank you, Doctor. Dr. Elena Guseva, could you stand up? Dr. Guseva graduated with honors from the Russian National Research Medical University, completed her residency in obstetrics and gynecology, and has practiced in hospital and outpatient settings, managing complex obstetric cases. She is one of the new leaders of Simulation Center and brings international clinical experience from Russia, Ecuador, and Brazil. Her professional interest includes reproductive health, maternal care, and preventive strategies in women's health. Thank you. For those of you who really listened to the previous presentation, you should have a talk with her as well. Dr. Janis Beymagambet. Dr. Janis is a 2017 graduate of Karaganda who has been trained as a pediatrician but went on to do a second residency in anatomic pathology at Nazarbayev University, completing it in 2022, along with a master's degree in public health. He's also pursuing a PhD in anatomical pathology and an executive MBA in healthcare. Dr. Janis will be teaching anatomy and microanatomy at the anatomy lab at ACSOM. His expertise span pathology, medical education, mental health research, and quality improvement in laboratory practices. Dr. Tamar Dalakishvili. Dr. Tamar Dalakishvili is a cardiologist with extensive experience in clinical cardiology, medical education, and research. She completed her residency in clinical cardiology in Tbilisi, trained internationally in Poland and Austria, and has contributed to publications and conferences on heart failure, hypertension, and diabetes. Her professional interests include cardio-oncology, rheology, and advanced global standards in patient care and medical education. Dr. Ali Khan Karimazakov. Dr. Ali Khan Karimazakov is a physician and educator who received his MD from Nazarbayev University in 2022 and went on to complete a residency training in pediatrics. His interests include pediatrics, medical education, and public research in endocrinology, and has published research in endocrinology. He also brings experience in healthcare communication, entrepreneurship, and physician education initiatives supporting innovation in medical training. And finally, last and not least, and very fresh off the boat, Dr. Alexei Shikov, who arrived yesterday. Dr. Shikov is a neurologist and medical educator with over a decade of experience in clinical practice, teaching, and research. He brings strong expertise in neurology, physiotherapy, healthcare quality assurance, and peer-reviewed research with additional expertise delivering USMLE-focused neurology instructions. Thank you. That was the second part of the program. Now we move to the faculty promotions we have to announce for the first time. This is 3 faculty members that I would call by the names to ask you to stand up. Dr. Abiola Omadan, Dr. Ilshad Kheralin, and Dr. Eliza Abdarahimova. Dr. Abiola already for almost nearly a year has been in this new position of Assistant Dean of Admissions, running the our admission committee and doing a fantastic job. Dr. Elshad and Dr. Aliza have been with us for now 6 years, starting with our very beginnings in Kazan and with faculty development. Dr. Elshad will be the assistant dean for the faculty affairs, and Dr. Aliza will be the assistant dean for the student affairs. Thank you. Thank you. I also now want to mention that Dr. Alina Mohammed Shina, who is the director of our SIM Center, was with us also with the same span of time, is leaving us this next month and going to Western Connecticut for a directorship in global health, I believe. So she's skipping on the promotion, really. And I want to thank her for the time and the efforts that she has put in to develop our Simulation Center program. And I'm hoping that in order to get this promotion, she'll come back to us in a year. I like to go on to thank really all the members of our team, that they are really the ones who actually make us able to deliver this curriculum and make the dean function, make the school function. And I want to really start by thanking our senior associate dean, our campus dean, Dr. Stan White. He is amazing. He's always insightful. He is very experienced, and he has been really incredible. Every year that goes by, I realize how much more I appreciate him and how much more I need him here on campus to run the campus and student affairs. So thank you, Stan, from the bottom of my heart. Right along there is Olyanka Omadan. Olyanka runs the dean's office with a very powerful hand. And you all know that when you want to reach me or you have anything that you need from the dean's office, that is your point of contact. Lincoln essentially organizes my life, school life, and everybody around us. Thank you, Olenka. I want to thank our president, Carrie James. Of course, it's really delightful to work with him and to get his help and his support, and as well as the government of Dominica, who has been here. Carrie already expressed our appreciation and thanks. Without the support of this wonderful and brilliant government, we wouldn't be here and we wouldn't be able to do this job. So we are really, we appreciate it. We're deeply grateful to you for helping us and making this school happen in really this wonderful way. So I'd like to thank Dr. Sokol, the new chair of our board. Dr. Sokol is replacing Dr. Bagherpour as the new chair on the board. Our student services, Dr. Parveen Bagherpour and Dr. Scott Rinker, our recruitment team, Mason and Devisa, who have been doing a great job already. I think I have about 94 out of 100 students I need for the next July. The IT and communication, Elliot Polak and his team, Mika Teske for making sure that we look very cool on all these social media places that I can't even say their names. It's Ross Balbani and his team for making the campus run and maintaining the campus and working with us when we need equipment, when we need spaces, when we need planning every semester. So I'm really deeply grateful to them. And then a few more people, Dr. Jeff Wong, who really imagined this curriculum with me and developed it and developed the very first group of faculty when they were in Kazan, Russia. And then we told him, well, there's a war, we're leaving. And then we told him at some point, we're going to be in Dominica. Nothing changed his mind. He would come where we are. He would work with the faculty. He has been working and developing our faculty and continues to do that. And we are really grateful to him for the curriculum and faculty development that he has done for us and continues to do for us. I want to thank Dr. Andrew Padmus and Team Canada. They have been wonderful, and they have been creating a wonderful network of physicians and students in Canada for us. My thanks to Charlene Law, President of Student Government Association. He has been a strong advocate and a strong voice for support and advocacy for the students, and I really appreciate that. And finally, I have to say a few things about our affiliates, because our great affiliate, Brock University School of Public Health, we have Dr. Brent Fott here, the director of the program. Brent, could you stand up? Ben is the program director. Those of you, particularly the Canadian students who are here, who have not met him yet, please use the opportunity, talk to him, and ask about the program and the collaboration that we have with Brock University. We also, as you all know, have a wonderful affiliation with Mount Royal University and University of Waterloo, and a developing one, particularly to deliver our pre-med program, if you will, our prep program with Humber College. We have this year, we can announce 2 clinical sites that are already hosting our students for their clinical phase, year 3 and 4. One at the Desert Region Medical Center in California, Palm Springs, California. It's led by Dr. Vera, family medicine physician, who has been a wonderful and brilliant teacher and organizer and coordinator for us. And one at Nazareth and St. Mary's Hospital in Pennsylvania, where our Associate Clinical Dean, Dr. David Feldstein, helps me organize and also is hosting currently students. So we hope to grow these 2 sites in the future with more students, and we will certainly be working on more clinical sites and try to announce them, particularly on the Canadian side next year. I would turn now today to the new students, the new cohort. Today is all about you. I want to first thank your family for one thing, for helping you grow and to be here. We are not individual. We live in a community. We are surrounded by our family members, and your family gets credit for getting you to this stage. I want to assure them, if they're here or if they're online listening to us, that we will take very good care of your loved ones, that we will make sure that they are protected, that they are receiving the instructions and studies that they need, and that they will grow to be a wonderful physician. As you don today this white coat, it's not merely a uniform, as Dr. White mentioned. You are assuming a mantle of significant responsibility. I hope that you have an internal conversation with yourself about this and take this very seriously. Your journey begins today, and with it, you must have restless curiosity. You must have compassion for your patients, and you must try to be the voice for those who are vulnerable, those who need you at their most vulnerable moment in life. You are to stand up for them. We, particularly in North America, particularly in United States, we have a significant population of underserved patients, patients who do not have health insurance, patients who are poor, and we know already with solid, very good studies on health disparities that those patients do not get the same kind of care that this other patients of same age get with better insurance and, if you will, better income. So that disparity exists, both in terms of income, there is an income health disparity, as well as a racial health disparity. And you need to be sensitive to that, and you need to make sure that you stand up for your patients and you will advocate for them to make sure that they would get the same care that the patients with health insurance, the more affluent patients, get. You want to start a lifelong habit of learning. The learning does not start and stop in the classroom. When you go home, when you graduate from this medical school, when you graduate from the residency, you are still a learner. You learn every day because our science of medicine grows every day with new knowledge, and it is your responsibility to keep yourself at top of those developments. I hope that this year will be a very productive year for you, and I'm here to be supportive and to help you. Your faculty is here to make sure that you have a fantastic freshman experience in the medical school. But the first year is very difficult year. It's the probably most difficult year academically, most difficult year of your life. And if it is not, then you really need to get a life. So this will be a difficult year, and you need to understand that upfront, but the faculty is here to support you. We are here to support you every step of the way. Welcome to the American Canadian School of Medicine.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmadi, for your wide-ranging, inspirational, and highly advisory presentation. I'm very pleased that you actually clarified my function, because I've often wondered over the past 3 years, but I'm grateful always to work with you. And also for clarifying that we all, in the end, report to a Yinka who really runs things. Okay, so on behalf of the continuing students who are sitting behind you in their white coats that they were wearing in July last year or January last year or whenever, we have the current president of the Student Governance Association, Ms. Charlene Law, who is going to come and give you some welcome remarks on behalf of you predecessor students. Charlene.
The church girl in me wants to say giving honor to God. So I'm going to say that, giving honor to God first. Your Excellency, Ms. Sylvia Burton, President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mr. Burton, the Honorable Roosevelt Scarrett, and his representative, Dr. Irvine McIntyre, the Minister of Finance. Thank you. Your Excellency, Charles Saverin, the former President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, and Mrs. Saverin, the honorable members of the Cabinet, Your Worship Carrie Breedy Prince, Mayor of Portsmouth, permanent secretaries, Dr. Ramin Ahmadi, our Dean and Chief of Academic Affairs, Dr. Stanley White, our Senior Associate Dean here at ACSOM, and Mr. Kerry James. To all of our honored guests, esteemed faculty, family members, and most importantly, our incoming class of future physicians, welcome. My name is Charlene Law, and I have the privilege of serving as your current SGA president here at ACSOM. And on behalf of the entire SGA and student body, it is truly my honor to welcome you on your journey. As your president, it is both my duty and my privilege to serve as your advocate. SGA is here to support you. We're here to amplify your voice and to help ensure that campus feels not just like a school, but also like a community. I encourage each of you to get involved, share your ideas, and to continue building something special together here at ACSOM. To cohort 6, before I go any further, because I have some encouraging words, I want you guys to pause for a second. This is a very exciting day, and sometimes it can go by really fast. And so we need to pause for just a minute to really reflect on what this day means. I want you to consider all of your hard work, all of the blood, sweat, and tears that brought you here to this moment. I want you to think about all the nights you cried because the MCAT made you feel this small. It made us feel really unintelligent. And then the moment you considered taking a different path, I want you to think about those. But most importantly, I want you to think about all the times that somebody either told you or made you feel like you couldn't do it. And then I want you to take all of that together. I want you to dust it off, and I want you to hold your head up high and tell yourself, I did it. Because today proves you did it. Let's give them a hand clap, guys. Yes. Great achievement. So know that each of you sitting here, you earned your seat, not by accident, not by luck, but through persistence, sacrifices, late nights, early mornings, and with the belief that you were meant to do something that mattered. Now that you've begun your journey, I want to leave you with a few words of encouragement. Firstly, there is nothing like medical school. I've been in school all my life, I know. There's nothing like medical school. Some days will be challenging and overwhelming, and you will be pushed mentally beyond what you thought was possible. And at times you will tell yourself, I can't do this. But I assure you, you can. There may even come a day when you may question whether you're cut out for this path. Again, I assure you, you are. When that doubt settles in, I want you to remember every obstacle you've already overcome. Every moment, big and small, they're proof that you belong here, and they will become your fuel to keep you going. Take a look around you. Literally, take a look around you. Thank you. Look at the faces of your peers, your faculty members, your family, and your community. You are not alone on this journey. You are surrounded by people who genuinely want nothing more than to see you succeed. So while you're here, make the connections, lean on one another, because some of those relationships, as Dr. Monty showed us earlier, they're built to last for a lifetime. Most importantly, I encourage you to stay grounded in whatever gives you strength and peace. For many of us, that foundation is our faith. Press into that. Keep God in the midst of everything that you do. When the weight feels heavy and your path uncertain, let your faith remind you why you started and who you are becoming. I personally like to believe that God gave us Dominica as a gift, because right here, ACSOM is like our training ground, but everywhere we look, we see something beautiful. We are reminded of his presence, whether it's by the mountains or the ocean or the stillness. It reminds us it's a time to pause and reflect and remain grateful, even when things are intense. And lastly, I'd like for you to remember this. Medicine is not just a profession. It is a calling. It is a calling to serve. As future physicians, we are entrusted with the lives of others. That responsibility calls us to lead with compassion, respect, humility, and empathy. As you work tirelessly to master the skills of medicine, never lose sight of the humanity at the heart of it all. Today, and in the years ahead, you honor that calling by showing up, by working hard, and by committing yourself fully to this journey. To all physicians, former students, and other members of the healthcare community, let us never forget our oath. This world is in desperate need of healers, people, people who care deeply and will act boldly. On behalf of the Student Government Association, congratulations. This road ahead won't always be easy, but it is absolutely worth it. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlene, for those really great welcoming remarks. Charlene, in a presentation, mentioned that she is your advocate. And as a university administrator with some years of experience in student affairs, I can honestly tell you I have rarely met such an advocating advocate in my whole career. So you have a marvelous champion working to improve your educational experience in partnership with the school. So do use her. Okay, we now get to the business part, as it were, of the ceremony and the audience participation section. So at this point, I'd like to call Miss Amanda Massacott down to the front, she is our Manager of Student Support Services. She's going to introduce the class of 2030 to receive their white coats. And I'd also like to call Dr. Moji and Dr. Zanas down to the positions at the front here, and they will help you don your white coats. So, Amanda.
Thank you, Dr. White.
Good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce the January 2026 class. First, let's welcome Abalu Chance Colvin Wilkiewicz from Idaho and Alyssa Baletta from New Jersey. Elisa Corey from Florida, and Amy Albertina from Texas. Thank you. Let's welcome Autumn Jade Griffin from East Texas and Brian Brown from Minnesota. Derek Williams from Alabama and Janina Swanee from Vermont. Gregory Jack Scruggs from Georgia and Hunter McBride from California. Juliandra Caro from Texas, and Khadija Amber Ajas from Alberta, Canada. Kylie Tan from California and Nikita Sharma from Ontario, Canada. Rhoda Ansong from Florida and Rosa Laguria from California. Our very own Selena McLawrence from Dominica. And Thu Tu Sa from New York. And last but certainly not least, Trayton Gentry from Idaho. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my distinct pleasure to introduce to you the class of 2030.
Thank you, Ms. Massacott and Dr. Zanas and Dr. Moji. We now lead on to a very important part of the ceremony, which is going to be led by Dr. Abiola Amadan, our newly promoted Associate Dean of Admissions, who's going to lead you in the recitation of the Oath of Geneva. If there are any physicians in the audience who want to reattest, you're welcome to join the class. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. White, for that. Your Excellency, the President of the Commonwealth of Dominica, please allow me to stand on existing protocol. Good day, everyone. To our newest students, may I indulge you for a moment with a brief admonition as you begin this remarkable journey. Always remember that medicine is not merely about mastery of knowledge, but about judgment, about knowing when to speak and when to listen, about caring deeply without becoming hardened, about holding science in one hand and humanity in the other hand. You will come to learn, indeed, you should know by now, that even the strongest amongst you will struggle quietly at some point along the way. Growth, more often than not, will first appear as discomfort before it ever looks like confidence. When those moments come, remember this: it is not failure you are experiencing, it is formation. I wish each of you wisdom, courage, humility, and resilience as you walk the path you have begun today. May you never lose sight of why you started this, nor of the privilege it is to care for another human life. And now, if you would kindly rise to your feet, raise your right hand, and read after me, please. I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of humanity, the health and well-being of my patients will be my first consideration. I will respect the autonomy and dignity of my patient. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will not permit consideration of age, disease or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing, or any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will respect the secrets that are confided in me even after the patient has died. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity and in accordance with good medical practice. I will foster the honor and noble traditions of the medical profession. I will give to my teachers, colleagues, and students the respect and gratitude that is their due. I will share my medical knowledge for the benefit of the patient and the advancement of healthcare. Now, this is very important. I will attend to my own health, well-being, and abilities in order to provide care of the highest standard. I will not use my medical knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Thank you very much. Now, please allow me to present to the Dean of the school, the class of 2020, Dr. Amadi.
Thank you, Dr. Albeola, and thank you to the class of 2030. Please be seated. We now come to the part of the ceremony where we express our thanks to some of our guests for all of their support to the school. And we start with a gift to the President of Dominica, Ms. Silvani Burton, which will be presented by Mr. James. One of the great perks about being married to the president is that you also get a gift. And so we have a gift for Mr. Burton, also to be presented by Mr. James. No. The basket. Kerry. The basket. Quick swap. We can edit that out. It's all right. As Mr. James said in his remarks at the beginning, and Dr. Amadi reiterated, this school would not exist if it were not for the government of Dominica's commitment to the partnership that we have with them. So at this point, I'd like Mr. James to present our traditional token of appreciation to the government of Dominica and the people of Dominica, and he'll present that to the Honourable Irvin McIntyre. We now have a gift, a traditional gift to the wife of the campus dean, Mrs. White, again to be presented by Mr. James. Maybe. Oh, look at that. And finally, I'm not sure what actually happened to the extra bouquet that Mr. Burton was given. But we would, again, in symbolization of the support that the President's Office has given us traditionally since the school opened, we would like to present Mrs. Saverin with a small gift of flowers. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, you'll get it at the end of it. So that really brings to an end the ceremony. I'd like you to all remain seated while our guests are able to leave the auditorium. So please remain seated until they've left. Thank you, Mrs. Burton, Mr. Burton. Okay, I'd now like to invite everyone to join us in the cafeteria at the Student Centre for a reception, and I declare this white coat ceremony closed. Thank you for your attendance.